All right, that's a little bit of an attitude there. They just sensed a little bit of I don't know, unstable air with that song or something. I'm not sure. I'm not back to the multiple vortices or even any kind of an inflow or outflow or wall cloud.
But did you check the Gettner yet?
No, I've not checked the Gettner, but I understand that we're the only people who got it.
Ooh.
Shows all kind of interesting things.
Yeah, I'm still struggling on those maps of what all those colors mean and what it means.
Yeah, it's like don't you? There's the hook right there. You see that right there? I mean, everybody sees that. That's the tornado right there.
Yeah.
I see.
Here's some purple coming to us. Don't let that purple hit you.
Yeah,
but here's some light pink. That's okay.
Yeah, because that's really soft hail.
But you see, you see that green? That green's what you want to stay. What? Okay.
But I thought
Sure.
green was the happy color. Yeah,
And then what drives me nuts the most, right? So you get the little map, you get the little Oklahoma map up in the corner,
Yeah.
the bottom, wherever, and then you've got heavy team storms, thunderstorms, T-storms, storms, rain,
watch
and whatever.
warning.
Yeah, whatever you have.
Flash flood.
And not is that bad? What does that mean?
Yeah, when do I have to take cover?
I don't know.
Yeah, every spring. Just, and then they'll run like a crawler along the
Yeah.
bottom after that.
Yeah.
These are all the schools in western Oklahoma that said, you know what, we're not going in today because we don't have any way to protect anybody.
Yeah.
So stay at home in your trailers and hang on.
Just in case you didn't want to go to school Friday, Apache will be closed. Durand.
Corn and Colony.
Yeah. So
Deer Creek, Lamont.
super confusing. A, you've already took up 75% of the screen. B, I can't watch Chris Paul get dunked on down the middle of the lane.
Oh no, you'll get plenty of chances to see that.
I probably will this year, yeah. Well, this year, I mean, now you've got a reason to cut in. Years before,
That's a great point.
years before, you didn't have that option. I'm trying to watch LeBron and Kobe go after it, and you want to cut in on whatever to show me a windstorm out on some farm somewhere, which, fine, I get people's safety, but can we not wait for a commercial break? I'm just seeing.
Do you
wind.
think that
I'm
Val
just
and
seeing
Amy
wind.
have that kind of patience to wait?
I don't. Val might if he's got LeBron on his fantasy team. I don't know.
Because Amy doesn't. She's
No, she traded him.
She's a Warriors fan,
She
just like
traded him for
everybody
Chris
else.
Paul.
Well, as you can see, we're big fans of the way weather is done here, and frankly, we're all thrilled that we are technologically sound and everyone's protected. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't mess up watching spring sports.
I poke fun at it, but I could watch David Payne all day. I really could.
Well, just for the suits that he puts on, he looks like the
yeah.
Easter Bunny.
Oh.
I've never seen so much purple in my lilac and lavender in my life.
Like you could just take out the news and just give me an hour of David Payne and whatever he wants to talk about. I'm cool with it.
I just think he needs to bring Emily Sutton over on their team because I like Emily. She seems like
A little quirky, but
she seems like a girl lives down the street that's kind of friendly that you got to know, and she's not a bad girl.
Yeah.
And then she grows up and she's accomplished something. You go, hey, I knew her. Now she's the weather person.
And now she won't talk to you anymore, Scott. Sorry.
Well, nobody can.
Yeah.
Nobody does. It's that sign I have to have in the front yard.
Super pork chop lives here.
Yes. Yes.
You didn't have to put it in neon lights.
Oh, we're talking about me, or no, stay away from that. Chance, I don't know. There's a chance somebody might listen.
Chance it might hail.
Yeah, and not that soft pink either.
Not the soft pink.
Heavy purple.
Heavy purple.
The David Payne purple suit, purple hail. Yeah. Hey, Bill, NFL Power Rankings after Week 1. Want to see if any of this you agree with or if you kind of pucker. The neat thing here, too, is I've got what they were ranked preseason, and we'll look to see if that's changed a little bit.
So the Colts are number 1.
They've dropped a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. So guess who's number 1?
Patriots.
It's not Pittsburgh.
Shocker.
New England stays first.
What is it about Pittsburgh and Ben Roethlisberger not looking James Washington's way?
I don't know, but
Like, he threw in one ball when when I was watching the game. Washington catches it. Then, and it was only for like 10 yards. And then after that, didn't look his way the
No.
rest of the game.
No.
They try to keep throwing it to Moncrief, who can't catch the ball to save his life, which was weird because Moncrief in Indiana could catch a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Then they didn't really even throw it to Juju Smith-Schuster.
Right. They throw it to Switzer some?
Yeah, and he looked really good. I think they've got him a slot receiver, but why you spent a high draft pick on Washington? This guy has proven.
Yeah, his preseason was
And
really good.
it may be a chemistry thing. I know they got into a little bit of rift, but look his way.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about, and I don't mean this from the standpoint that one wide receiver is, but the future of that franchise is not Ben Roethlisberger.
No.
It's young guys.
No. I mean, I think he's still got the capability to get you to a Super Bowl, but
Man.
I just don't know how you don't. I mean, Switzer looked amazing, but you went to the well with Moncrief a couple of times where he dropped about 5 balls in a row. And you're not telling me that either Juju or James Washington wasn't open?
Let me ask you a question, Bill. Do you think the guys play hard for Ben Roethlisberger? Forget Tomlin, forget all of that other. Do you think, because there's been so much talk about, and of course now we know that Brown may not be all there, but there were issues with running backs as well.
I think
Does he have their respect and their ear?
yes, respect, yes.
Does I wonder?
I do. Does the team play hard for him? Probably not for him, no. I think Connor plays as hard as he can given what Connor went through. I think regardless of whoever Connor's quarterback was, Connor's going to run all day.
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying, does he inspire them to play their very best? Did they buy into anything that from his quote leadership skills or what have you? Because I think he's an idiot that has a strong arm and he's hard to bring down.
If I think there's anybody that respects him the most on those team or this team, it's his offensive line. When you get into kind of, we'll say, the diva positions of the world, so your wide receivers, your running back, I would find it very hard to believe that all his wide receivers respect him. I mean, I think they respect him enough, but not play. I'm gonna go out and kill myself for you.
Yeah,
kind of deal.
he just doesn't seem to inspire. He doesn't inspire me, and I just wonder if he.
Would you find it fair to say that his Super Bowl wins are unappreciated to some degree among players?
I don't know, and that's the thing. I just
like the cachet that obviously the cachet that Tom Brady rings bring to the table are a little bit different, but we'll even say Drew Brees' one ring. It feels like, and it may be a personality thing. It may not have to do with rings at all, but it just seems like what we were talking about earlier, that Breeze kind of galvanizes, and even Aaron Rodgers, even on bad teams, you just feel like Aaron Rodgers can will a team with Roethlisberger and whatever situation they want to put out in there. You don't feel like he can
it reminds
will
me of
a
Bill.
team.
Reminds me of Eli Manning.
Yeah,
In terms of, well, yeah, they won it, but he's not in a class with bang, 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 bang.
but I think Eli's a little bit more likable.
Well, and that's
And I
kind
don't know
of,
if that's a what do you want to call it? A kind of because of who Peyton is.
yeah, I don't know, but even that statement lends itself to the question that I asked before. If you're less likable and you're not inspiring, and frankly, the last 3 years your play hasn't been where it was before that, at what point do guys go, yeah, forget him?
I think the players know that they can win with Ben, but I don't think they're inspired by Ben.
Okay,
like if
that's
you were to rotate, say, Drew Brees in there, I think you'd be inspired by it, and you think you could win. I think if you rotated, like, say, Kyler, I think you'd be geared up for the upside of
for
it.
what's new and different,
and be inspired by what could be the upside. If you get like I guess the comparison would be if you roll in like Kirk Cousins, I don't think you get inspired by that. I think it's the same kind of level
Yeah,
of
I do too.
he can win, or it's like trading Alex Smith over and over. It's like, yeah, we're going to win a couple of games. Are we going to get to the big one? Probably not. And
Yeah,
I think
he's
football
workable.
players,
He's workmanlike performance. I just wonder, I just wonder. Bill, 4 is the Rams. Eagles 5. I
okay.
think the Rams are too high, but we'll see.
I think the Rams and the Eagles are both overrated. I don't see them going real.
Number
I see them
6,
getting to the playoffs. But
Number 6, Dallas Cowboys.
overrated.
Number 7, the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm thinking you're going to
Overrated.
say overrated again. Number 8, the Ravens. Preseason ranking 17.
After showing what they showed, I would probably move them up compared to some of those teams you list, but I still think they're a little bit overrated. I think that's Jackson. I think is still a year or two away from being a truly just tough guy to stop. Not that he's easy now by any means, but once he really develops that
Yeah.
skill of touch and stuff with his passing attack, Jackson's going to be tough to stop.
Yeah, how does his skill set fit in both from the standpoint of the defensive prowess that he faces, and then how does he maximize his efficiency within the playbook, which he's still perfecting.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that no quarterback or no coach has figured out with these running quarterbacks that have come out, right? So your Cam Newtons, your even Randall Cunningham later on when he just kind of primarily threw it was a little bit better.
Bradford.
Is
Oh, you didn't mean running for your life quarterbacks.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Is at what point do you really limit this guy on running? Because what makes him great is his ability to run, but what makes him even better is his ability to get out of the pocket, extend plays, and throw the ball with touch.
How about any quarterback named Hasselbeck?
Yeah, I call tails because we're going to
Okay.
take the ball and go win.
That's right.
So it's one of those things that I don't feel that any head coach is perfected yet because they all want to rein him in. RG3 is a perfect example.
Yeah.
He ran his first couple of years and was really perfected. Won the Rookie of the Year, that ends up getting injured because you ran him too much. But he won the Rookie of the Year because he ran so much.
Yeah,
so
to me, it's the same argument that you make about how many times you let a $12 million a game pitcher throw a ball.
Yeah. It's a tough call. I know that, and a lot of it depends on so many different variables. But I don't think you can limit a guy. Just like you can't limit, say, Patrick Mahomes and how he throws and where he's going to throw it. Although the no-look thing the other day was dumb, but only because I got him on my fantasy team. But I don't think you rein that guy in. Just like you didn't rein Brett Favre in for throwing interceptions.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because locally on the college level, after the first game that Oklahoma State played, people were concerned that maybe Spencer Sanders was taking too many shots when he was running with the ball. Gundy came out and said that's who he is.
Yeah.
We're going to let him do that. And in fact, in the game against McNeese State, they purposely had plays where he actually got the offense going by designated running plays, which opened up the middle of the field for Hubbard and the offensive for the running backs. And then, of course, once you do that, then you've got people out there that can catch it and go. As I said, 4 guys that went over 69 yards.
Unleash Tyron Wallace
And the rest of the
in its history.
jailbreak guys. So you got Minnesota 9, Green Bay 10. Your Seahawks up to 11.
Yeah.
Houston, which lost, is I guess they're the highest ranked team that lost. 0-1. They're 12. Bears 13. Titans, I think they're a little low for 14 based on what they did to the Browns. Colts 15. Steelers 16. Browns 17. Yeah, we had both of those teams picked a little higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just kidding though. You really like the Panthers.
I'll go back and edit the video. Don't
Falcons, Lions. Look at. Here's a one. Buffalo Bills 1-0. They're ranked pretty low.
The Lions were that low?
Yeah. Oakland Raiders
Wow.
23rd. Jacksonville, Denver, Jets, Bengals, Redskins, Cardinals, Bucks, Giants, and the Dolphins.
The Bucks look terrible.
Wow.
I mean, they look terrible. What's going on with Atlanta?
Bill, do you remember when we started at the beginning of the year? I just told you that I just felt like that they were kind of done, and that they weren't really going to get in the Saints' way in the South. whether or not that plays itself out, there's
I mean,
trouble in River City.
I know there's been some precedents set with the Patriots. They lose to the Chiefs the first game of the year, then go on and win the rest of them. But Atlanta, you signed Julio to another deal. You've got Calvin Ridley. You've got Freeman. You've got Matty Ice. And this team cannot put it together. There is something's going on in Atlanta, and I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's just a chemistry issue, if it's... I mean, they're not too long from being in the playoffs. I mean, I can't figure this team out on what they're trying to do.
Seems like that happens more and more, though. I mean, look at Jacksonville. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that...
Yeah, it is,
but you're right there, and then you're done.
So is the window just like a 2-year window? Whenever you peak and hit, say, the second round of the playoffs, and then you get kicked out, that next window is it for you?
Because you need to ask people up in Foxborough that don't know what a 2-year window is.
Well, it's
a 20-year window.
Yeah, 2-decade window.
Yeah.
It's just weird. This team offensively is better than every NFL team in the country as far as their talent on the field. But for whatever reason, they can't put it together, and I can't figure it out.
Well, Bill, real quick, let's talk a little bit about Dallas's performance. I got some numbers for you here. Dak Prescott, 33 out of 48, 68% completion, 323 yards, 6.7% average, 43 yards long. Ezekiel Elliott, he played. Did you know that? He got signed. Yeah. He played. Averaged 4.1 yards a carry. Tony Pollard, I think he sealed the backup position and had a pretty good...
Well, he had to. They let go of Alfred Morris.
Yes, they did. And I'll tell you what I was thrilled to see was the effort and the production Michael Gallup had.
Yeah.
You know, that guy, I just told you that watching him in the preseason, he was one of the few guys that really impressed me and made me think that, well, at least this guy's playing as hard as he could when it didn't look like everybody else was to me.
Well, and then you got Randall Cobb on the other side, who's been a proven veteran wide receiver. So
yeah. So between the two of them, you're looking at 11 catches. Amari Cooper had 6. Blake Jarwin had 3 with a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott caught 1. Tavon Austin caught 1. So what did you think of that performance? Because I think we knew what the defense was going to do.
I'd say you take a look at, obviously, Zeke wasn't Zeke this game. So you're going to get Zeke back probably next week playing his full allotment of plays.
Does he have to give money back, though, for not being at 100% in this version?
Probably not.
Okay.
But this team has the chance to be really, really good. The only thing that's going to get in their way is either Jason Garrett or Jerry Jones. However it shakes out, they've got the defense to be a top-tier team. Offensively, as long as they don't get in their head as far as, I've got to throw the ball on every down, or I've got to, throw shuttle passes or whatever, and feed Zeke, and then play off that with play action, or play off that where you've got now 8 guys stacking the box, and they want Dak to Prescott to beat you, which he's perfectly capable of doing, but they're going to stumble. Let's be realistic. At some point, just like they have in the past couple of seasons, they're going to stumble.
Well, I think it's like a lot of teams that all it takes is a couple of injuries to a couple of key guys on either side of the ball, and it's tough. I heard, and I apologize because I don't know who said this, but they were quoting Jerry Jones, Bill.
Ooh, that's a bad call.
Oh, no, I don't think so. In fact, I think you're going to completely agree with what Jerry Jones said because it plays in to what you talked about early on about Elliott. Jerry Jones has a famous saying, and it is, don't let your money get mad.
Okay, agreed.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to say.
Yeah.
In other words, you can get all bent, but don't let it stop you from spending the necessary money. And frankly, that's all you were talking about. When I came out and said, I don't know about paying this guy, and you said, here's why you have to, and you were proven right. And when I heard that today, not that I'm never ever not thinking of you, but when I heard that today, I thought, man, I'm going to share that with Bill because that's exactly his point. And that's true about Jerry Jones. When you think about it,
Yeah.
I mean, he's never been afraid to spend money.
Never.
Like that music, man.
You have been listening to Excessive Celebration.
From right here in Montego Bay at Super Pork Chop Restaurant and Jerk Chicken Bar.
And please remember to catch that app.